Bring in Mark Sanchez, Fox Sports. Yeah. We have loved having Mark on. Now, he's got video. We're going to save that to the second half. Now, let me ask you, because J-Matt brought up something. I am an analytic fan, but one thing analytics can't do in any of these sports, they don't know what stress, pressure, and momentum, right? You can't account for it. So is there an argument to be made, Mark Sanchez, that there's a big difference between Thursday on Amazon and that game yesterday, where if you do go for it and fail, teams shrink quick in January? Is that fair?
I think it's the higher stakes, the more criticism, the more scrutiny, all that. I just feel like in those situations, there's this ongoing debate about analytics in general. And both of them are within less than a percentage point of go for it, kick the field goal, take the points. Remember, neither one is an exact science, okay? It's not a guaranteed field goal. 48-yard field goal is not a guaranteed field goal. And I understand the first one a little more than the second one. The first one, you're trying to pile it on and you still have the momentum. You're riding high on the horse, feeling good about it. And so, if it's close, 6 one way, half a dozen the other, or right there, okay, man, go with your gut. That's what got you here. All those things, we're going to keep riding our momentum. The second one in the second half, and I'm not saying tighten up in big moments, but it's okay. If it's tight, I would probably err on the side of caution, manage your misses.
Yeah.
I'm in the woods here on my first shot off the tee. It just got a little squirrely. Let's just get back on the fairway instead of trying to hit the hero shot.
Good analogy.
You know what I mean? And land it on the green.
Right.
Unless it's, the very, very end of the game and, hey, man, this is all we got.
Yeah.
This guy's on fire. I can't stop him anyway, whatever. I'm a little more on board with the first one than I am the second one. But I mean, we're splitting hairs here on this analytics stuff. And once again, I don't think it's fair for people to just hide behind it. Well, the number said it, so I did it. I don't think that's cool because that's one end of the spectrum. I think the other end is just, hey, I'm going, doing what I do and forget analytics. I know this game more than the number. Well, I don't think that's the healthiest way to go about it either, or the most successful way to go about it either. I think there's some sort of balance, just like anything. But it was just, I think that the tide really turned after the ball hits off the guy's face.
That's what I told him during the break.
And then, you heard Ayuk in the post game with Aaron Andrews saying, ladybug landed on my shoe. It was just after that, there was just this calamity of errors that couldn't be overcome. And then one home team started to figure it out. The other one crumbled, and it was, that was a heck of a championship Sunday, man. That was really fun.
Mark, sometimes, though, you can go to the Edelman catch with Brady.
No doubt.
They're in almost every big game or big series.
Something has to happen.
You get
somebody falls. The guy runs into the referee. Things happen, and people get picked off. And
that was the thing that happened.
And you're just oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Okay. Everybody hang in there. You're just kind of reeling. And it was the same thing with Baltimore. They get the huge play to Zay Flowers. Boom, taunting penalty. Oh, my, talk about wind out of the sails. And just, a lead balloon, man. You're just what are we doing?
So it's interesting. Let's go to the video. Let's shift to Baltimore. So there's always been a theory that you don't reach for the goal line.
Yeah.
Unless Belichick used to say, unless it's for the game.
That's right, on fourth down.
But in Zay Flowers, he's not really reaching for the end zone. So, listen, Snead made a great play.
Snead made an incredible play. Snead got beat and hung with the play. He never gave up.
Were you bothered with
that
fumble?
To the very, very end. You can't reach. You just can't do that.
Okay.
Can't do it. You're going to make it if you just dive with the ball like this. You see how far he landed in the end zone. You don't even have to reach. He's so athletic. He's jumping from the 3.5-yard line. He's going to make it if the ball's tucked into his chest tight with two hands and nobody touches it. So he's going to make it either way. But yeah, I've had coaches say some horrible things about, that's one of the worst things you can do is reach like that.
Okay.
But then, so it's that taunting penalty that backs them up. Now they got to waste some more plays to figure out how to get down again. Okay. They get in the end zone. Nope. Fumble. Okay. It's going the other way. Then they have a 98-yard drive or whatever it was. Kansas City pinned them down, and then they throw a pick in the end zone on a predetermined deep throw into once again, a defensive team meeting. The there's 3 defenders right there, and the receiver's momentum is completely stopped, and he lobbed up. The guy almost fair caught the interception.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a bad, Lamar knows. You saw him throw his helmet down after. He made a bad decision.
So we talk a little bit about this. I felt like the Lions are a younger version of the Niners, and they panicked a little. Is it fair now, whether it's fair or not, but he used an Embiid or a Harden example. I said, I always figured like Peyton Manning struggled in the playoffs early. I'm not going to make a judgment. But as I watch the second half with Lamar, I'm like, listen, there does appear to be a thing, which is you never blitz Brady or Mahomes. Like, you'll get burned. There is a little bit of a vibe in the league now. Bring the house on Lamar and take your chances. Is that now the label on Lamar?
Well, I think anytime you bring one more than you can protect with, when you bring 8 and they're blocking with 7, when you bring 7 and they're blocking with 6, it's a direct call out to the quarterback. Because you're banking on, I'm going to get to you before you get rid of this ball because you do not have the answer. You don't have an answer to beat this, and we're going to hit you before this ball comes out. That's all you can do. And you tell the defensive backs, they know. I mean, they're like, this ain't playing with house money. This is the other end. You're scraping to get by. You're off about 6.5 yards, 5 yards-ish, inside leverage because you don't want to get beat across your face. Give the quarterback an easy throw inside. You make him throw outside. And he missed the ball to Nelson Aguilar up an inside fade route up to the left side the first time they ran an all-out pressure cover 0. And he missed it. He just missed the throw. It was the right read. He had the answer. Boom, he was ready for it. But if you don't beat it that time, you know it's going to show up again. And you better be ready for it for the second time. And he wasn't. And it was just, I thought Coach Spagnuolo did an incredible job of forcing him to be a passer. I think the play calls, too, I thought they would have run it a little more. On 3rd and 1, they ran like a full drop back. Like, I was like, what?
They only had 6 running back carries.
Remember, I've broken down clips on this show in this seat talking about they run read option with 2 options in the pass game. So it almost becomes like a quadruple option where you're handing it. No, I'm keeping it. No, I'm throwing it. I mean, those kind of plays just leaves defenses running in circles, and he's constantly like ahead of the chains and all this dynamic plays that they've had. And then they drop back on 3rd and 1. I was like, what are we doing? Well, that one was a big one. And then I thought what Spags did was, the defense coordinator, I thought he did an excellent job with these strong dogs and weak dogs, meaning like these overload pressures that force Lamar to cut the field in half and focus on the other half. And you could tell the rush, the blitzers were in sync with McDuffie, Snead, all the guys in the back end, meaning, okay, he's going to work this side. Wait for his eyes to turn to us and then make our breaks, make our decisions. But feel out these routes, read the routes, let the rush get to him. And as soon as we cut that field in half, be ready to make a play. The ball's coming out because he's going to feel the heat from one side and he's coming right back to us. You could tell they just had like this beautiful dance and relationship between the rush and the pressure and then the back end, understanding when it was going to happen. As soon as they turned up the heat, boom, turn on the gas. There goes the fire. Here it comes, baby. It's going to start sizzling. Make it happen. And they were all over him, man. I just thought they could have established that run a little bit more. Just try and pound it, man. You're Baltimore, man. That's you. Like you leave teams like bloodied and battered. Like that's who you are.
Yep.
And so that shocked me a little bit.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.